Hello, it's Tuesday and it's time for our communication tips. So like I said, starting here in the month of July 2020, so if you're watching these, this is when I started it, I want to share with everybody tips on how to communicate with the other parent. In the past 11 and a half years of practice, the one thing that I have seen predominantly across all divorces with children is a problem in communication. Let's face it, there's a reason you got divorced. There's a reason one of you filed first, or maybe both of you came to the agreement that this marriage isn't working and we just need to end it. You communicated that, but during the divorce, one thing I see is there are raw emotions going on. Someone feels wronged, someone feels hurt, someone feels like they're about to lose everything, and communicating properly can really go a long way for setting what the rest of your life with your children will look like. And I'm talking the rest of your life, not till they're 18, not till they're, graduated high school. Let's face it, you're going to be at weddings together. You're going to be at the high school and college graduations together, or maybe even grad school. You really don't want your children having to go through life figuring out, especially on their wedding day, especially if it's your daughter, where do I sit my mom and where do I sit my dad, because they don't like each other and I don't want to deal with the drama. Let's face it, a wedding day is all about the bride. That's her big day. You don't want that to be something that overshadows your daughter's special day. So it is really key to learn how to communicate. And so I'm going to share with you on every Tuesday a tip on how to communicate that I have learned either through my own divorce or watching my parents get divorced, going through life with them, or what I have learned from helping my clients navigate what it looks like in a post-divorce world. So the first tip I want to share with all of you is find a method to communicate that works well. If you have a high conflict divorce and the two of you just can't talk without it turning into a fight, let's face it, picking up the phone and calling is probably not your preferred method. Maybe what you need to do is use text or emails, or even some really great apps that are out there and programs that will help you communicate so you don't have to talk to one another. Understand this, just because you're co-parenting does not mean you need to speak in person or on the telephone to each other. You can send an email, you can send a text, but if both of you have a hard time controlling your emotions on that, think about using things like Our Family Wizard. Our Family Wizard has a really new feature out, and they've been out as long as I've been practicing law. And it's a program designed to help you co-parent and communicate. They have a feature called Tone Meter. Now it's something new. I've only seen it in the last few years, but what it does is it lets you know before you hit send, what's the tone of your message. Let's face it, when you're writing, all caps means you're yelling. So turn off the caps lock. Use proper punctuation. Write it out as if you were writing a letter to the judge. You wouldn't put it in one big block of text without breaks and commas and punctuation and paragraphs. You would want the judge to understand thought and thought and thought. Just, it's basic communication. If you're going to write something to the other parent, put each thought into a separate paragraph. Use punctuation. Take the time before you hit send and reread it. Does it sound and communicate the tone that you want to communicate? If so, hit send. If not, maybe let it sit. There's no rule that says you have to immediately reply to the other parent when they communicate with you. And I can tell you, I've known clients who have a 3 rule. They will tell the other parent when things starts going downhill, especially on the phone, okay, I'm going to hang up the phone if you can't change your tone. Okay, they'll do it 3 times and then they hang up the phone because they don't want to engage in the fight. So, and a lot of times when you're on the phone with the other parent, your children are around. So if that's the kind of communication the two of you have, is it's always turning into a fight, look at using Our Family Wizard or App Close or Two Homes If you have an iPhone or Android, just Google, go into your store and look for a co-parenting app. There are many of them out there. Some do charge, some are free, so keep that in mind. But you do need to agree. So here we've got to get back to communication. The two of you need to agree which one are you going to use and how are you going to use it. Sometimes when I'm helping people get divorced and I realize that this is going to be high conflict, I will make that recommendation to them. I will present options to them, and we'll actually draft that into a judgment or an order so people know what they're supposed to do. So again, first step with communication is find a method for the two of you that works to communicate. So stay tuned, come back next week, and I will have another great tip for you on how to communicate so you can have a better life and your children don't feel like they're caught up in your adult drama. Have a great Tuesday.